Okay, we're not supposed to. Okay. Oh, hi. Good morning. Good afternoon. Good evening, wherever you are. Thank you for joining us at our latest Sylvia Findings Wednesday morning live stream, or at least morning where I am. It's 10:30 a.m. Pacific time, 10:30-ish. I guess we're a few minutes late, 4 minutes late. But what else is new? Um, Thank you for joining us again. We do these live streams every Wednesday because we miss seeing all the people at the shows, even though some of the shows are starting up again. But, so we'll start seeing more of you, and then we won't feel the need to do these live streams as often because we'll have enough of you in real life. So, I'm kidding. I kid. I love you people. We love everybody. We love all our customers. Almost all of our customers. You know who you are. A couple of things before I get started. We're going to continue on. We've been doing this cataloging of all of our products, which we're getting close to the end, which I don't know what we're going to do after that, but we'll figure out something. We're going to continue doing that thing. Last week we were doing, I think I did almost all the ear wires. And we've got a couple more ear-wiry things to do today. Some of them should go quick. But before I continue with that, I feel like I'm already missing something. Whatever, not important. I was not supposed to mention that I can't remember what episode this is. So whatever episode this is, thank you for joining us for our 50th episode of it. Maybe it's 60 by now. Who knows? I feel like it's getting up there, almost 60. Just full transparency, we don't know, we're just making it up as we go. If you share this video, who knows? We'll send you one of these little polishing cloths that you can use over and over on your silver, right? That's just one of these little green polishing cloths. It's a chamois that's infused with a deoxidant chemical that deoxidizes, helps unbind the cupric oxides from your sterling, gold, brass, copper, nickel, zinc, palladium, platinum, rhodium. Rhodium doesn't really oxidize that well. Actually, now I'm thinking, neither does really pure silver, although it does eventually. So people who do fusing with fine silver who say, oh, fine silver doesn't oxidize. It does. It just takes a long time. Little science first thing in the morning. Yeah, sterling silver is an alloy of at least 92.5% silver. The other 7.5% is usually some proprietary ratio of copper and zinc, sometimes some tin. That's what ours is, copper and zinc. And it's the copper content in there. Copper is normally like at least 6.5 or so percent. And oxygen loves copper, and copper binds very easily with oxygen. They're like two peas in a pod. So when your sterling tarnishes quickly, that's what's happening. It's the sterling, or I should say the copper content on the surface, the copper molecules that are binding with the copper, with the oxygen to make cupric oxide, which is tarnish. Happens a lot faster when you put a flame on it. That's why you need to use flux when you're soldering, right? More information than you wanted. First thing in the morning. Cha-ching! I don't know if you heard that on the live stream, but I have an Etsy app on my phone, and whenever somebody places an order on the Etsy app, I go, cha-ching! So, and that's not a me thing, that's an Etsy thing. They invented that thing, even though I find it a little bit crass, but it's still fun to listen to. Neither here nor there. So, what else? Oh, shipping. I've been shocked lately how good, promote the new website, custommadejewelry.ca. Yes. I would like to promote our new website. I wish I had a way to make letters appear on the screen. custommadejewelry.ca, because we're, Canadian. Which means we're polite and nice, right? So, order from us. For all your custom jewelry needs, we have all of our services that we perform here. So the design services, if you need your something designed, CAD design of your piece, which generally, if we're doing custom things, let me just segue quickly into the, because maybe it makes a little bit more sense why we would have all these services a la carte if you understood basically how we do our custom work. Because we make lots of production stuff, and we have a huge production facility and that manufactures all of our stuff. But we also piggyback on top of that production capability for our custom things. So when somebody has a custom order, they want a ring or a pendant or something, basically it starts with an idea, a design, could be drawings, could be pictures of other pieces of jewelry that, I like the bail on this, and I like the ring band on this, and I like the seats of the thing. I like the way the prongs look on this. I like the under gallery on this, or whatever. So we can cobble together, different jewelry concepts into a cohesive piece. And once we have all that, established, then it goes off to the CAD designers, and we build a 3D model of the piece. And we have a separate a la carte charge for that. If you only want to have your 3D model done, we'll do that separately. Then from there we do a 3D print, and actually we're printing something here today. Let me just move this over here. Maybe a little impromptu. We're actually printing something right now. Here's our 3D printer at work. I don't know if you can see that down there, what it's doing. So there's a little tray with the resin, and you can't really see anything. It's kind of boring. Anyway, that's what it's going to look like when it's done. It's a ring and something else, a couple of other things. So, okay, Nelson will be happy. I showed off the 3D printer. Now let me get set up here again. So yes, so we can do 3D print of your thing. Normally, if there's a custom order, somebody really wants to come in. Who could it be? I feel like Pee Wee Herman. Hey, there's a visitor coming to visit us. Anyway, where was I? If we're doing a custom ring or pendant or whatever for you, and if we have the stone, maybe you sent us the stone, because if you send us your stone, we could take a 3D scan of it. I don't know. We'll have some videos up on that customjewelry.ca website very soon. So we can do a 3D scan of your stone, and then when the designers are building the ring or the pendant or whatever, they can use that 3D scan to build the setting around, so you know that it's going to fit perfectly every time. Anyway, we can do that 3D scan, for you. I forget where I am. Totally forget where I am. What am I doing? Why am I here? Custom jewelry, right? So we can design the piece, 3D scan. We have the 3D scan of your stone, right? That's what was my point. If we have your stone, we'll print the 3D, and this is castable resin that we have in our 3D printer. So we'll print one of those, we'll cure it so it's nice and solid, and then we'll check the stone to make sure the stone fits perfectly, before we send it off to production. Then it'll go off to production, it'll get cast, it might take a week or so, depending on how how busy the production facility is. And we do this not as like a completely separate thing, but whatever pendant or whatever we're casting in that minute, we'll just add it to the tree. And I'm not going to go into the whole process of lost wax casting, but we can just piggyback it on top of our existing production runs of whatever. So we're able to do it way less expensively, way more cost effectively than a regular jeweler would. Anyway, neither here nor there. So on that site, that custommadejewelry.ca, we have the a la carte services, the 3D scanning of your stones. We also have a big scanner that can scan actual pendants or rings or whatever, so we can, if you wanted to recreate one exactly, we can do a scan of that and then send that off and send the files off. and have those, you know, cast again, so you can have another copy of it. Um, we have the 3D print services, so we have all that stuff, the design stuff, all of those individual aspects of the whole custom process are available on that site a la carte. And if you have any questions or anything, just give us a call, and we'll, you know, walk you through it, talk you through it. Because we're just doing so much custom work these days. It's just crazy. Well, I guess it's not crazy. It seems pretty obvious, really. It seems like every industry is trending more and more towards customization, custom experiences, custom. Everybody wants to rule the world. Tomorrow on Tears for Fears lyric. Anyway, neither here nor there. So that's I think we've gone through all that stuff. Let's get back to what I was originally going to say before I was rudely interrupted by Nelson reminding me to promote the new custommadejewelry.ca website. I did it again. Okay, good. Awesome. Shipping. I've kind of been not shocked, but happy, very pleasantly surprised at how good shipping overseas has been. You know, Canada Post is still terrible, still takes forever, but not as long as it was. We'll put it this way, it takes about the same amount of time for me to ship something from here in British Columbia to, say, Quebec, which is on the other side of the country, as it is currently taking for me to ship something from here to London, England. We just had, I've just been looking, I had, day before yesterday, we had a package delivered in England that had been shipped 10 days previous, so it's only 10 days. 10 days, that's under 2 weeks. And another Netherlands order was 12 days. So, you know, it's doing really good, the overseas shipping into the European, although European Union has all kinds of new rules that might start slowing things down. As in, you're going to pay customs and duties no matter what it is. Even if it's like, you know, €1 value, you're going to pay duties and taxes on it. And they need to have your phone number. They need to have a special number on the package and blah, 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 blah. But we handle that for you. Don't worry about it. Just feel free to order stuff. We love your orders and we love shipping stuff. We ship stuff every day. Shipping into the US, of course, is typically amazing. You know, I'm always impressed with the U.S. Postal Service, and I know that's, I don't know, they get a bad rap. I don't know why. You know, maybe mail, you know, letter mail is bad. And I know that there were some shenanigans last year during the election time in the U.S., but with mail-in ballots and stuff. But for parcels, man, I've had parcels come from here in British Columbia to Florida in, what was it, 4 days? 5 days? It was a 4 day. It was 4 days, and like literally as far away as you can get on the same continent. You know, from British Columbia, we're on the west coast, north of Seattle, and Florida is, of course, Florida. We all know where it is. So yeah, that wasn't like super rush mail. That was just regular old first class parcel mail. So yeah, awesome. And just so you know, and I know that I cast aspersions on Canada Post pretty often just because they're terrible. Let's just face it, they're terrible. And they're expensive, they're crazy expensive. But for all of our US customers, just know that we don't ship US parcels via Canada Post. We ship them via U.S. Postal Service. We use a remailing service. This is the state of things. Canada Post is so bad that a company has figured out a way how to circumvent Canada Post to ship stuff into the States. There's a company called Chit Chats that we use. They have branches in all the major centers across Canada, you know, and they have a lot of them in Ontario and Quebec and Calgary and Edmonton and Alberta, and they have a couple of ranches here. Sorry, Saskatoon, or Saskatchewan, I don't think. Oh, I think there is one in Regina. And I know there's one in Winnipeg too. Anyway, so they have branches in all the major centers. There are only like 10 major cities in Canada anyway, right? So they're I'm gonna get in so much trouble for that. Anyway, so what they do is they take your package. We print a U.S. Postal Service label. It gets stuck to the thing. We bring it to them. They truck it across the border, and then they mail it from here. It's Blaine, because we're in British Columbia, Vancouver. Blaine is just across the border in Washington State. They mail it from there. So literally the day after, if I drop it off there Monday night, by Tuesday morning it's in the U.S. Postal Service system, and it's going off thing, and then you never have to worry about Canada Post, which is great, because it's just so much less expensive. It would actually, if I was able to do it, I would figure out a way to ship my parcels. If I'm shipping parcels to the East Coast, like to Montreal or Toronto or something, I would do it via U.S. Postal Service, ship it across the border, have it go across the country, and then come back into the country. Except that, there would be duties and taxes and stuff, and that's not okay for the customers. But it would be cheaper and it would be faster. But I'm not going to keep going on about how bad Canada Post is, because they know. They do. And we all do too. But that's okay. Because we love them. Because they're ours. Yay, Canada. Ooh. Okay, moving right along. We're going to start today with some earring backs. I know that's kind of boring. And we have a couple of different styles, a couple of different sizes. So we'll just get through them quickly. But backs are important, and I'll talk about them when we're going through them. So let me just turn this camera around. That's this one. And okay, our first item is a regular old butterfly back or scroll back. You can call it whatever. And these are kind of like the most standard one, LF012, and we have a couple different sizes of these. This one is 59 cents a pair, and at the retail price, and the wholesale price is 46 cents a pair. And then we just have a whole bunch of different sizes of these. I think the smallest one is this one, which is LF014, 68 cents a pair and 42 cents a pair is a wholesale price. And what is that? 4 millimeters? I guess that's 4 millimeters wide, the pad. Right? It's got kind of like a little flowery kind of pad. And all the way up to the biggest one, which is this monster, LF010. $2.41 a pair, and $1.51 is the wholesale price. And these are 9 millimeter wide pads. And but Mark, you say, why would I want to have pads that are so big? Well, let me explain. If you have an earring post, and I could just pull one out there, sort of thing, right? So one of those kind of posts. If you had stuff that was super heavy on the post, it pulls on the earring, right? So if this is your ear and this is the post going through it, you end up pulling down, and then you end up with the front of the ear wire, kind of dangling out the side of the earring. Well, the wider the post, the more surface area gets secured against the back of the post, right, against the back of your earlobe, and it just makes those heavier earrings a little bit more secure, right? Not totally necessary all the time, unless you have something that's super heavy, right? But, so the bigger pads are just a little bit more secure. So let me just go through all of the other ones. LF016, this is probably the most popular one that we have, because it's the most common. It's the sort of everyday one. $1.21 a pair is a retail price, 75 cents a pair is a wholesale price, and it has a 5 millimeter pad, right? And these start out life as a straight piece of metal, and then these are curved around, right? It's they're stamped out. The shape is stamped out, and these are curved around with a tool. But if these ever get loose, right? Because these little coils, these little things, right? you just stick around those pliers in there and you just make a little curve, just make a little tweak. You can turn it and make them tighter against the earring post. So if they're ever loose on your earring post, you know, don't throw them away. They just need to be tightened up, and you can tighten them up just by curving those little things around. There's a little tip for you first thing in the morning. The next one, ES 195 for 74 cents a pair is the retail price. 57 cents a pair is the wholesale price. And here's another one. It says gear studs. It should be ear studs, right? That looks like another probably 4mm pad. Here's another one. LF006, $1.21 a pair is the retail price. 75 cents is the wholesale price. 5mm pad is that. And you know, the difference is, you know, why are some, you know, they're all about some are about the same size, and why are some more expensive than others? It's just some of the thickness of the material that are used to make them. Some are a little bit beefier than others. Is there an advantage? I don't know. Maybe the beefier ones last a little bit longer before you need to tweak them. But once you understand that concept, that all you need to do is tweak the little, you know, give those things a little turn to tighten them up. I don't know. It's all good. LF003 with a retail price of 70 cents a pair and a wholesale price of 44 cents a pair. And is there a thing on here? Yeah, that's another 5mm one. I wonder what 0.3mm means. Maybe that's the thickness of the metal. I don't know. And then they get a little bigger. LF052, $2.99 a pair is the retail price. $1.79 is wholesale price, and that's a 7mm pad, right? Cute little. Oh, this is our teddy bears. Oh my God, they're so cute. Now that I've seen this, I can't unsee it. It's so cute, right? So these are teddy bears. I didn't know we had these. I just forgot. Yeah. Except that, you know, you need to stick the post right through his chest to get it there. Poor guy. I don't know why that occurs to me as being very funny. LF051 with a retail price of $5.85 and a wholesale price of $3.51. Here's a 6mm pad. And this is just a little bit different. These are much beefier, much stronger. Nice big flat pad. And these are two separate pieces, right? One is soldered to the other. And again, you can still tighten these by making those little tweaks. But this will probably last a lot longer as, you know, two separate pieces and everything. That's why they're a little bit more expensive than the other ones. These are kind of like your premium versions of that. And we've got two sizes. This is a 6mm one, and this is 5mm one. LF050 with a retail price of $4.55 and a wholesale price of $2.73 a pair. Again, any of these things that are, you know, for your earrings, that if you use them by the pair, we sell them by the pair and the price by the pair. So that same idea. It's the separate pieces that are soldered together. These are kind that you see in super high-end jewelry. The only thing that you might see that are a little bit more expensive is the pads have threads on them, and then you can get posts that are threaded that you can screw them on. And of course, the biggest one of these scroll backs, butterfly backs, whatever you want to call them, LF010 with a retail price of $2.41 and a wholesale price of $1.51, and that's a 9mm pad. This nice big giant one. This, if you have some big heavy, I don't know, ceramic earrings or maybe some fused glass things, something that's gonna pull on your earlobes, the more security you have on the back, the straighter the post will be sticking out the front. Then, of course, we have the what they call bullet backs. I don't know. I've never been a fan of the name, but that's kind of what they're mostly known for. ES272 with a retail price of $2.24 and a wholesale price of $1.34. And then we have these in a bunch of different sizes again. And these are all, I mean, you can't see them, and I'm not going to break one open to see, but they all have a little silicone nut on the inside of that. So when you put the your earring post through, there's a silicone nut that holds on to the metal, or that holds onto the post. But anyway, it's kind of cute. Kind of, everybody's seen those. We all know what those are. And then we have a couple different shapes and sizes of these. Some of them, they get a little bit bigger. ES177 with a retail price of $2.59 a pair and a wholesale price of $1.56 a pair. And that's just a 5mm round pad. And, right, it looks, I guess it kind of does look like a bullet. It kind of bugs me that the name that everybody uses is actually the right name for it, but oh well. ES176 with a retail price of $3.48 a pair and a wholesale price of $2.09 a pair, and that's just a 6mm version of that, right? A bit wider pad. And ES101 with a retail price of $8.41 a pair and a wholesale price of $5.04 a pair. That's another 6mm pad, but a little bit, I don't know, different style. Probably a lot more silver on that one than the others. ES159 for a retail price of $7.16 a pair and a wholesale price of $4.47 a pair. And that's another 5mm pad, 6mm deep. And this one, I think, is the biggest one that we have. ES167 with a retail price of $7.79 and a wholesale price of $4.55 a pair. And again, just a regular old, well, I don't need to peel that off, right? You can see that, pretty obvious. Bullet back, rubber bullet back. I'm just speeding through these. And then we have one, ES160 with a retail price of $5.93 and a wholesale price of $3.55. And this one, I am going to open this up because I like to explain what this is. It's basically, right, I don't know if you can see that. It's a scroll back, right? One of those butterfly backs. Can you see that? But it's embedded in a little silicone nut, right? So that's what you'll see sticking out of the back instead of a little scroll back. The silicone helps grip the metal. The only drawback with these is that if the silver gets really loose, you can't really get in there and tweak that closed. But because they're encased in silicone, they probably won't do that, right? Get loose. And even if they do, the silicone will grip really nicely on the thing. So, yeah, I don't know. It's kind of cool, kind of neat. And then we have a couple of bullet backs that are just regular old, silicone. These are actually, formed out of silicone. ES196S for small and EX196 plain. So the smaller ones are 20 cents for 10 pairs and 15 cents. No, that's the price per pair. So it would be $2 for a bag of 10 pairs. We only sell them in 10 pairs, but the 20 cents a pair is a retail price. 15 cents a pair is a wholesale price. So it's like $1.50 for 10 pairs. And the bigger one, or I should say the standard size one, it's probably a 6mm pad, right? 30 cents a pair is a retail price. 20 cents a pair is a wholesale price. And again, we only sell these in 10 pair little baggies. So it's $2. What do you want? And you can never have enough of those kind of backs. Even if you have ear wires, you're using just regular old ear wires, sometimes, you can buy the little rubber stoppers. These work great for that instead of using the little rubber stoppers. Anyway, we have a couple of little incongruous items that they're not really backs. I don't know. They're kind of leftovers from another tray. Gear studs again. Well, I don't know why that G shows up everywhere. They're ear studs ES190 with a retail price of $502 and a wholesale price of $386. Now these are just the cutest thing. It's a little snail, right? Yeah, if you see that cute little snail, oh, they just come with ear wires, or come with the scroll backs. It's just a little cute little snail with a loop in the bottom. I love that little guy. And a couple of other random things. Little connector, ES188. Oh, this doesn't have a G. So it's not a gear stud anymore, it's an ear stud. ES188 with a retail price of $577 and a wholesale price of $445 a pair. And these have posts, right? I'm not going to pull these out, but oh, never mind, I am pulling it out. So right, so it just has a post. It's got this cute little, I don't know, cool pattern, swoopy thing with a bunch of, and a loop in the bottom. And that loop is obviously an open loop, so you can open and close that, connect whatever you want to there. Just kind of cool little earrings. Here are some other cute little earring connectors. Back to the gear studs. ES189 with a retail price of $529 and a wholesale price of $407. And these just cute little, you know, chandelier earring parts, almost. Not very huge ones, very cute little decorative ones. They're posts. And again, probably, right, I'm not going to pull it all the way out, but you get the idea. They're just regular posts. Wow, actually, those are kind of cute now that I'm thinking of them. Can imagine dangling a couple little, you know, cute little crystals or something from there. Maybe little lengths of chain from there to give you some super, lot of movement. Very cute. All right. Now we're moving on to some lever backs. This is the most plain Jane version, D00801, with a retail price of $624 a pair and a wholesale price of $374 a pair. And this is the right regular old lever backs, 16 millimeters tall, 9 millimeters wide, right? And it goes through your ear, and then you close that because it levers up the back, so it's a lever back. And this has a, you know, a loop, an open loop that you can connect whatever you want to that. And that's it. Now we have a couple more ornate versions of this. There's one EW687 with a retail price of $378 and a wholesale price of $291 a pair. And this is, you know, that same, everybody's seen this, right? It's just that standard thing. It's the same old lever back, but it's got a little scallop fan on the front and the loop dangling off the bottom. Very cute, very you know, traditional in a, you know, non-traditional way, I guess. EW579 with a retail price of $670 a pair and a wholesale price of $478 a pair. And this is same idea. It's just that plain old lever back. A little bit wider lever though, I think. It's quite a bit springier than the other one too. Boink. Maybe you need those a little bit chunkier. Who knows? Then we've got another version of that one with the scallops on the front, right? And the only difference is this is shaped a little bit different, right? It's got that lever is, you know, pretty widely curved. So this, you know, sticks more out the front, and it's got that little scallop down at the bottom. Did I say the thing? D00802 with a retail price of $637 and a wholesale price of $384 a pair. couple of other cool lever bags. Here's one. EW685, $9.19 a pair is the retail price, and $7.07 is the wholesale price. And this is quite a bit wider than the others. It's got a little bit of a interesting lever out the front, or out the back, I should say. And the front is a nice tall, it's almost like an exclamation point. Right? If you dangled a little, bead off the bottom, it would be like, I mean it. Look at these earrings. Oh boy. I don't know why I think that's funny. If you can't amuse yourself, why bother? EW686 with a retail price of $6.81 a pair and a wholesale price of $5.24 a pair. At least I think I'm funny. It's the same idea as the other one, only these have like a little textured front. I don't know if you can see the little laser etched stars on that thing, right? That texture on the front. Very cute. And that's on the front. That's what you'd see out, hanging out the front. So it's a lever back, but it's kind of disguised. It has kind of an interesting. It's almost it would look like a post. You'd expect to see a post of this, but anyway, as a lever back, it's very interesting, very cool, and that's it. We only have one other kind of hybrid deal that's not really a lever back, but it is this EW681 with a retail price of $5.11 and a wholesale price of $3.93 a pair. And I just love these. I don't know why. There's something weird about the shape or something, right? So it's still, lever back, right? Still goes on the front and that lever's closed. But I just like how wide and I don't know, sinuous that is, right? With the loop out the bottom, and this part opens so you can dangle whatever you want to that. I just kind of like the look of that. Very, I don't know, very elegant, a little bit sexy, very cool. And what else? Let's see. We've got a couple of incongruous items, things that I don't know why they're in this tray, but let's just go with them. That was the one we just did. EW694 with a retail price of $22.95 and a wholesale price of $17.65. And this is, and there's only one in the thing because, whatever. It's a huge dangle assemblage. Right, these biconvex shapes. Just a fancy word for cat's eye shape, but anyway, biconvex shape with a couple of loops in there. You can dangle something inside here, dangle something from the bottom of there, dangle. Right? Oh, are we still here? This phone said trying to reconnect. Okay, we're reconnected. We're good. Good morning, Marianne. I see that on the screen now. There we go. Here's another one that we should have done last week, right? With the kidney wires. These are kind of big, giant kidney wires. EW771 with a retail price of $5.27 and a wholesale price of $3.51 a pair. And yeah, I don't know. I just love these big, these big kidney wires. Very, very fashionable, right? Just a standard old thing. You can hang whatever from there. I also always kind of pinch these, where these two little angles come together. I pinch those closed just so that this piece can't come flying up around once it's you've linked whatever to that. But you certainly don't have to. They're not built that way. They're probably not designed to do that. But anyway, here's another thing that's in the wrong place. EW761 with a retail price of $5.85 a pair and a wholesale price of $3.90 a pair. And these are just it's kind of a cool ear wires, that same biconvex shape, nice big tall long piece coming out the back and the front with that textured almost hammered look. Not really hammered, kind of textured look with the loop hanging out the bottom. And I don't know, I'm just a big fan of these ear wires where the back comes out and tries to make an appearance in the front again, I've always been a big fan of those kind of things. And those definitely fit the bill. There's a couple of other little things. EW764 with a retail price of $8.78 a pair and a wholesale price of $5.85 a pair. And that's just an ear wire with a couple lengths of chain and some little loops down at the bottom. I think the tallest from the top of the ear wire to the bottom of the tallest piece is about 40 millimeters. Is that what it said? 38 millimeters, yeah. Right, so you can dangle things of different lengths. I think it looks better if you dangle things that are the same length all on there and they're just staggered. It's very cool. I mean, you could definitely make your own, but you know, why bother if somebody's already made one for you, right? EW763 with a retail price of $7.80 a pair and a wholesale price of $7.02 a pair. And this is basically the same thing, only a little bit shorter. This actually looks longer to me. Oh, there's only two. That's the thing. So there's only two dangles from that one, as opposed to three. All right. We have a couple of other, the last few things we're going to do today are some cup and peg findings. Here's one. I'm sorry about the post being all bent, you know, but that's how somebody pulled this out of the display. But anyway, it just presents as that, as like a, it's a post with a nice little, looks like a 4 millimeter cubic zirconia and a cap with a cup and peg setting on the bottom of that. Right. ES121 with a retail price of $14.08 and a wholesale price of $8.68 a pair. And here's a little bit more extravagant one of that. ES012 6314 a pair is the retail price and $37.88 wholesale is the wholesale price. And these are, again, posts, right? I'm not going to pull these out because they've been bent over the display. But little teardrops with a little dangle component in the middle, and then these caps with the cup and peg finding in the bottom that you can glue pearl or I don't know, something in there. And this, of course, is, you know, cubic zirconias all over the place. Pave style in the top piece. That one in the little thing that looks like a nice cute little 2 millimeter, maybe a 3 millimeter cubic zirconia. And there's a bunch of other cubic zirconias in the cap all the way around. Very elegant, super gorgeous. I could just see maybe a baroque pearl or maybe some drop pearls, you know, dangling from the bottom of that. Very cool. Although we have something way cooler for drop pearls coming up in a minute. It's actually going to be the last thing I'm going to show you, and I'm so happy about it. ES171 with a retail price of $16.39 and a wholesale price of $10.13 a pair. And same idea, they're posts. And it's got this little curly Q component with a inverted teardrop, bunch of cubic zirconias on the top, little dangles, and a little cup and peg finding on the bottom, a little scalloped cap. Right. Now, depending on the size of the pearl or whatever you're going to glue onto that, you know, you probably don't need the post to be this big, so you just end up cutting that down a little bit. You know, that's what they're there for. Not a problem to do that. ES106 for $24.82 a pair is the retail price. $14.44 is the wholesale price. And again, these are a post, so you can see we've bent the post over to make this fit in the display piece, but it's just, I feel like this would want to be on the other direction, the other side. So anyway, there's a definite left and right of these pieces. They're not two of the same things. Which you'd be shocked how many times you see that kind of stuff. It always seems weird to me. So it's like a leaf, I guess, with some cubic zirconias up one side, pave style. some lines up the other style, and a big cup and peg for maybe an 8mm pearl, maybe even bigger. You could probably get a 10 or a 12mm pearl on there. You just want to get too big of a pearl, because then you end up covering some of the cubic zirconia and some of the other design elements. Probably 10mm would be the biggest pearl I would go with on that. Here's another cute little, very elegant, very contemporary kind of dangles. EW651, 34.67 a pair and 21.67 a pair. How did that work out? Is the wholesale price. So again, these are posts again, right? See that? Let me just pull one out, even though it's bent, just so you can see how it moves, right? And so we've got this cubic zirconia at the end of the post with a little bar, and then this little component down on the bottom, you know, swings on that. You can glue your pearl. And with a cup like this and a post like that and a component like this, holy man, you could put just about any size pearl you want in there. You know, probably as small as, you know, 6mm. I'm just going to put that aside. I don't want to bend that anymore. Well, 6mm would be the smallest. Maybe 10 or 12mm would be the biggest. I wouldn't feel weird doing that at all. EW647 is this one, with a retail price of $17.33 a pair and a wholesale price of $10.83 a pair. And these are very, very contemporary. Again, they're posts. With a cup and peg and that lovely V shape with the cubic zirconias all the way around. Very, I don't know why, it feels so 1980s for me. Very retro, right? Very Duran Duran. Anyway, the last item I have to show you today is this one, and I just love this. EW653 with a retail price of $49.69 and a wholesale price of $31.06. And these, look at these. They're awesome. These are posts. I am going to pull this one out. Right, it's a post cast into the shape of a spider. Cubic zirconias all the way through that, super elegant, and the cup and peg on the bottom. So you can imagine, you know, you've got the head and the thorax covered with cubic zirconias, and then the abdomen is your pearl or your stone. I just love these. I don't know why. I'm not a big fan of spiders per se, but I just, for me, it's between this and the owls. We have a pair of owl earrings, which I showed you in another video, where the belly is where the stone goes, right? So I just love that. And you can put, again, you know, a cool, you know, irregular Baroque pearl with a hole drilled in the top, or maybe a drop pearl, you know, that would also be awesome. Or you could just put a regular old round pearl. You know, plenty of spiders have just big round, you know, bodies. You can put just about anything on there. But whatever you do, it's going to be super elegant. And when you wear it, there's no way nobody's going to stop and say, oh my God, look at those earrings. They're so cool. Right? So anyway, that's just me. I love it. I'm a sucker for that kind of entomological, is that even a word? You know, entomology, or maybe it's an arachnid, more like an arachnid inspired piece. Yeah, so that's it. I think we did good. I think we're I got through those trays that I wanted to get through. I think we're a few minutes early. Are we early? We're like 5 minutes early. Wow, it's a first. And I'm going to try not to drag out the denouement here just to put me in under time. So I think with that said, next week we'll just, I just got a couple more trays. We have a bunch of earrings that are new that I think are either just new on the website or are not on the website at all. No, I'm pretty sure they are on the website. But they're just, they're new. We got them just in the past 6 months or so. So if you've only, the last time you saw us was at shows, these are all going to be things that you've never seen before. And they're, you know, earring settings, you know, nagels, things to put stones in, and they're just awesome. Really likes a lot of the new things that we have. So we'll do that next week for sure. And then probably the week after that, we might switch to bales, start doing bales, which I think we've never done before. Maybe we did do bales. Did we do bales? I don't think we did. No, we'll do bales. And then I think we're pretty much done. I think. Then we'll have to figure out actual content for you guys for our live streams. Don't worry, we can do it. We're smart people. We can figure it out. So, but in the meantime, keep making stuff. Keep those creative juices flowing. It's the best way to stave off Alzheimer's. Keep those new synapses firing all the time. Take care of yourself. Take care of the planet. Take care of your mental health. And we will see you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.